and it comes up, and it only actually comes up, it's quite short, it's only got 14 points, and it comes up on the just 2 intercostal spaces up on the mammary line, and it ends here. Okay, so but it's short, but it has very important relationship to other parts of the body further up, and again a great, very important organ and meridian in Oriental medicine. So liver is, the first point is here, the second point is right in the web of the second and, sorry, the first and second toes, and the third point, I'm going to do these, show you where 2 and 3 are, and then I'm going to talk about them. And then to get liver 3, you slide your finger up between the first and second metatarsals, and then when you can't go any further, just drop down a tad into the more fleshy area, and liver 3 is here. So we've got 2 and 3. Not a very good 3, but there you go. Right, liver 2 and 3. Remember when we did the starfish formation on the first day? And I said there's a couple of very good distal points for it. These are they, liver 2 and liver 3. Good for other things, but at the moment we just talk about the distal points for the knee. So, if we're using these, we either use one, either or, don't use them both. So if we've got a rheumatoid arthritic knee, very inflamed, feels quite hot, which one of these 2 do you think we should use?
2.
2, good. It takes heat out of the, yeah, okay. So you do the starfish formation plus 2. If it's an OA knee with, it's just a cold, not cold, but just there's no heat there, we would use 3. Okay, so you can see the difference now. And this is the difference, a big difference between this and the famous dry needling and whatever, in that we have a different rationale for one or the other. We don't lump all joint conditions the same. Now, 2 also, don't forget, it takes heat not only out of the knee but out of the liver meridian. The liver meridian only comes here, but the liver opens into the eyes, okay? So, any hot eye conditions, so the first thing that comes to mind is hay fever, the angry eyes, the hot eyes of hay fever. This point, bilaterally, is wonderful in that if you've got, for example, a few years ago, this young lad came for treatment, and his mum came up the stairs with a cold flannel over his eyes. This is in May, hay fever season, you know. And the poor lad had fully blown hay fever. I said, well, it's very difficult to do something with it now. We should do it as a, you know, about 6 weeks before. But let me do some work on his eyes. And he went, oh, not needle. I said, no, we're going to do it down here. So all I did was have him lay down, and we put a needle there and liver 2 bilaterally, and within 5 minutes he was opening his eyes. I wouldn't say the whole thing was cleared, but he could go home without the flannel on his head, and it's very good for any stingy eye condition, or you know, when the actual red, sometimes when your eyes are red, or even from a cosmetic point of view, if you're going out one night and you've been at work and your eyes, you know, you look in the mirror and your eyes are dead. Yeah, this is what you should try this as a you know, just try it. So what you do, you can put those in yourself. Lie on the sofa. I was going to say have a cup of tea, but don't. Just lie on the sofa for 10-15 minutes, and then take them out and have a look at your eyes. They will be a bit clearer. Okay. Yeah. Don't go to the ball with known as one of the 4 main gates. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. But the main gate is here, between the toes, but it's liver 3. and here, which is large intestine 4, which we will be doing tomorrow. So here and here are the 4 main gates. Only 2 points, but they're bilateral, making 4. So why would we use the 4 main gates? And it's basically, if somebody comes and they said, you know, people that have everything, I've got this, 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 and this, and I've got pain and I don't feel well, and I'm sick as well. And you think, oh God, where do we begin here? So if it's a kind of a general malaise and you think, well, got to do something general, the best thing to do is to do the 4 main gates. Just leave them there. I always do a head shiatsu at the same time. Leave them there for 20 minutes with the needles in, maybe the odd stimulation in between that, but not too much. So what that will do is clear away the superficial crap, yeah, in the body. So this, and then whatever they're left with, you're not going to cure them, but whatever they're left with is going to be the thing that you need to work your treatment on, okay? Things should become a bit clearer. It's not always as simple as that, but that's, you know, how it is. And you'll see that liver 3 is used for many conditions in, you know, in and around the, well, in and on the body. It's a very important point. The main point on the liver meridian, okay, if you want to treat the liver. What I didn't mention yesterday is that when we were doing the back, the inner bladder line, on the inner bladder line there are what we call associated effect points. So 12 of those points from thoracic down to lumbar, 12 of those points are, they affect the organ as is, you know, even from a Western point of view, because anatomically they relate to them. So for example, I won't go through the whole lot now, T3-4 on that level is lung, 4-5 is pericardium, 5-6 is heart. So that's that oblong between the scapula that I was talking about. They're all in there. And then you've got L2-3, which is the kidney, okay? So those points will actually affect the organ even from a Western point of view and an Oriental point of view, yeah? So, and it's a good diagnostic area to go on, thinking which, if we're talking about a systemic condition, which organ is tender, just palpate down those points. I usually just put 2 fingers either side of the spinous process places, and they'll say, oh, that point's tender. You don't have to press hard. That's okay, that's tender, yeah? So just play with that, see how, you know, if somebody has a specific condition or